Hi, we're going to do a little checking in here. Let's see what we got. I shuffled, we cleared. All right, this is bottom of the deck energy. We have the player. All right, I feel like they're surrounded by those that are just like them. And we also have air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. So you either could be the air sign or one of them could be the air sign. And then we have abundance, financial stability, and blessings. And then we have lacks integrity and has no morality. Okay? I feel like that is what's happening here when it comes to what's coming to light, what's being exposed, what's the truth. I'm getting... It's like a double-edged sword. So it's kind of like people are seeing the truth about this energy and who they surround themselves with and what their motive is, right, for financial gain and greed. And then there's also a truth being exposed about you and who you are authentically. And I feel like you might have been a bit hidden, and I'm getting like there was secrets, there was maybe even a dynamic going on behind the scenes that someone was trying to cover up. But I'm getting like things are being exposed and you're being seen for who you truly are. I'm getting like your character speaks for itself. Okay? So it's almost like you don't have to defend yourself, right? God defends you, right? Beautiful. Okay. Interesting. So was that the player? It was the player, the air sign, abundance, and then, yeah, and then look, there's that Five of Swords, confirmed in both decks. And also the Empress, confirmed in both decks. And then 2 Ace of Swords, okay? God's wrath and judgment. Why is there God's wrath and judgment right now? Why? Because this Empress energy, this high vibrational divine femme is divinely protected. Okay? And the reason why there's God's wrath and judgment happening is because there was some nasty energy sent this way. That way. Okay? And I'm getting like there was some sort of feminine energy that was doing rituals. Okay? Whatever you want to call them. Alright? But it wasn't good. Alright? So you might have been warned. They might have been warned. There's something going on regarding this at this time. And I feel like they're connected to this player. All right. So I feel like there was like this whole situation going on over here. Okay. So you could resonate with being the divine femme. Okay. I have them both in both decks. So I feel like this is a bit of the context here. All right. Let's see. Yeah. I feel like there's exposure, truth, God's wrath, and judgment happening right now. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't mix any of the cards, and we didn't. All right, let's do, yeah, I feel like air signs, water signs are significant, and then someone going through an ego death as well. All right, so that could be like someone's getting some clarity, a realization, or finally seeing something clearly. Okay, it also could be like some sort of like spiritual or physical judgment in the sense of like a decision, right? So there could be like legal issues going on. So, whoops, I don't mean to do that. All right, anyways. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit disheveled here. Like I just like messed my cards up over here. Not that it matters, it really doesn't, but I feel like someone's doesn't really know their ass from their elbow right now, possibly. It could be like scrambling, okay? Maybe this judgment or decision is kind of like a final decision, something that can't be changed or they can't run away from it, so they could be like scrambling. So kind of like when you discover a nest of something and then all the things scramble. Okay, so it's kind of like that. So they could be dealing with like an investigation or something like that. They may have caught like a case, and that could be in numerous ways. Okay, we have a magician. We have a 9 of Pentacles. So someone is really working hard, okay? Look at High Priestess energy. The 2 of Pentacles. Okay. And then we have the King of Swords. Okay, so what I'm getting is there's a masculine energy here. It doesn't have to be gender specific, but what I'm getting is this the playa? Okay, so this is kind of the energy. It's almost like this energy wants to turn back, okay, and go towards this energy, all right, because it's like they're facing this way. All right, so let's get another row and see what's going on. I feel like you're looking very like doing your own thing. Like you don't need any help from anybody. Like if anyone said that like you were dependent on them, I feel like that's not the case, okay? And I feel like you're very intuitive. You're very mystical. You're very like even stewardess. So you could be like learning. You could be studying. You could be connecting to your intuition, your abilities here. I'm also getting with the Magician, this is like manifestation and creating something, okay? Like, I feel like whatever you're connecting to and creating is something that you had to find some sort of objectivity in, like being unbiased, okay? Because there is like more than one perspective here. There's like the polarity of things, right? The shadow and the light of a situation. And then understanding the lesson in it, right? I'm getting like, that's in the center of this pole. So I'm getting like this King of Swords here could be learning their side of the lesson. Whereas I feel like you've gained that wisdom and knowledge. In fact, you've like been able to build from it, right? On more stable footing. I'm getting like someone may have to, I'm getting like this is the other side of the story, the other side of the experience, the polarity here, the 2 of Pentacles. So something's playing out in their reality where they're gaining a higher perspective, okay? There's also that. Okay, let's see what the next row is. Yeah, because we do have Judgment here. And then we have a 5 of Cups. So I'm getting like whatever direction they were in. It's kind of like a change with the tides here, right? Like sometimes like you can tell the tide is in or out based on the way the boats are facing. It's kind of like that energy. So I'm getting like there's been a shift, a change in the tides, even emotion, right? How we feel about things. That is affecting maybe someone's perspective and how they see things and what they're thinking about and like what they could be learning or processing at this time with the swords. Okay, and then the Judgment here and the 5 of Cups. Yeah, I'm getting like whatever they've been experiencing, potentially with, yeah, I'm getting like it's a Queen of Cups and then there's this star energy. So the star energy I'm getting is this, it's kind of like this energy over here, the Magician, the 9 of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. This was not emotionally fulfilling in any kind of way. In fact, it's quite messy. So I'm getting like someone's being judged for how they've handled themselves in relationships with others. Okay, whether that's work, family, friends, lovers, whatever it is. So someone's going through like the need to evaluate oneself, right? 2 of Pentacles is certainly going to be like, you know, you went in that direction and you got what you wanted, but now you don't want it. So what do you want, right? Like, it's kind of like that. It's like, well, you didn't want what you had. You're not going to be able to go back and get that since you threw it away and went in a different direction, right? Like, I'm getting like this was quite painful for a lot of people, I'm getting. So there's a reason why there's this like alone energy, this solitude, this depending on oneself and understanding a value and a worth, right? Like, you know, you had to create something from nothing, but what you created from, you know, has a lot of potential and it's been growing and you've been putting in the work, right? I feel like you've been putting in the physical work and it's showing in the Nine of Pentacles. And then the High Priestess is the spiritual work, right? And then this would be like the mindset, right? Your belief systems, your, you know, being able to connect with spirit and as above, so below, and create, right? So there is a bit of like really getting into your abilities here, right? And like filling up your own glass, like knowing that like that's your job, right? It's always nice to receive, but I feel like you're giving to yourself now, whereas maybe that wasn't the case before. There might have been a bit of like people pleasing and overgiving and codependency here. Or this energy might have been codependent on you, or they're codependent on others. So I'm also getting a bit of that. So they may have attracted that into their reality with where they went. Okay, so it's almost like they had an experience here that taught them maybe what it's like to be on the receiving end of maybe patterns that they tend to be in. Okay, so let's get more, because the Judgment is saying like, okay, you know, we need to do an evaluation of ourselves right now. There's something that, you know, we're not moving past, we're not growing, we're not building from, and so there's a bit of that. Yeah, because here's the Ten of Cups, here's the Four of Wands, Four of Cups. Yeah, I was like, well, we had the Five of Cups, where's the Four? They're usually close by. Queen of Wands. Yeah, I feel like somebody thought that like what they went to was, you know, the end all be all. And I'm getting like they could feel, or maybe what they had with you was their, you know, end all be all, right? There may have been, you know, I'm getting like a union, a reconciliation, wanting to celebrate, like, so it's almost like, yeah, I'm getting like this could have been like what they gave up, like, you know, yeah, like I feel like somebody was swayed away, right? They could have entertained those Three Cups, right? They were prioritizing themselves, I guess. I'm going to say themselves and their desires, right? There's those Three Cups. But then, like, whatever this cup was, like, it wasn't good enough, or they weren't interested. And I feel like it's because of this, okay? I was talking about, like, codependency, and I was talking about temptation and ego. I feel like, you know, it's almost like someone thought, you know, hey, if I can have all that, then I could probably do a bit better, right? Maybe there was some enticing here. All right, I feel like something might have been dangled in front of somebody, okay? Because that's what the devil does, right? That's what the ego does. That's what this dark energy can do, right? It can, you know, get you off track, right? I feel like it played with someone's, or somebody, you know, was testing. This was a test. Yeah, what do we have? The Knight of Cups, Justice, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so we just got the Knight of Cups with this devil energy. We have Justice and the Knight of Swords. So this is clarifying this devil energy. And I feel like it has something to do with the Queen of Wands. Okay. So what's up with this Queen of Wands and this Knight of Swords? So this could be like legal issues. This could be like they were under judgment and now, you know, there's some sort of final decision made. Remember how I saw like that, the Ace of Swords, and then we have this Knight of Cups. So I'm getting like somebody was doing something from a place of like, I feel like someone was like dating people, okay? There was a lot of like exchanging of energy here with the Three of Cups. Yeah, I feel like someone isn't happy with what they asked for, right? But maybe they didn't realize what they asked for, right? Because look at, here's this Ace of Swords. For real. I'm putting this out because I feel like there's something about this Queen of Wands, because we also have the Empress here, and we also have the Moon, okay? And then we also have the Five of Swords. So this is like maybe what someone's getting caught up, okay, for their attacks on you. Whether it was slander, lies, defamation, or actual spiritual attacks that they tried to carry out. I feel like they were playing a game this whole time. I feel like they're an emotional manipulator. They could have some codependency issues, drinking, sex, lies, I don't know, videotape. I'm getting videotape. I feel like something is being exposed. So people could be receiving some proof of something that's been done, or there is proof. I'm getting like justice is here for a reason, and she's coming to collect, as well as this energy. All right, so someone could be definitely dealing with some conflict here, right? I feel like they might have like waged war. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting like they did the most here. I have water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, bottom of the deck, ego death. And then we have health issues and spiritual sickness. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. I feel like somebody was ignoring the signs. All right, there is unexpected income, okay? I feel like that's maybe a bit of what the motive was here, was to receive unexpected income. It might have been illegal. And as a result, like, there's some sort of issues here when it comes to this. Accountability, I'm getting. Okay. I'm also getting like they might have wanted to prevent you from having any income. Yeah, look at divine justice and universal laws playing out here. That's justice. That's the justice card. Whatever was done is being balanced. Okay, whatever was done is being brought back into balance. That's this Two of Pentacles. That's that King of Swords. Like, whatever is meant to be, whatever spiritual lesson is meant to be learned here, this energy, okay, whether it was a feminine or masculine in the dynamic, they're now learning a spiritual lesson. Okay, so there's this, you know, free will choice, right? And it affects our physical reality with the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like there's like this infinity, right? The infinity symbol, and has this cause and effect. And it's like, you know, every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause, and everything literally happens according to this law. And so, you know, change is but a name for law not recognized. So there are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. That's what they're learning. They're learning about the law of cause and effect playing out in their life, because they thought that they were above the law. Spiritual and man-made law. All right. Ace of Swords. There's a higher authority than man. Maybe someone didn't have that kind of belief or understanding or clarity. I feel like if they don't know, now you know. Okay? If you don't know, yeah, this is the energy. False masculine energy. Knight of Swords. King of Swords. Okay? All right. Yeah, they're in a karmic lesson, and that is what's playing out here. Okay? So as we experience these things, we burn through karmic debt. I feel like depending on how you handle yourself, you either, you know, work through that karmic debt or you accrue it. Okay? So they could be like bankrupt in the sense of karmic, I don't know, it's almost like the bank account. It's depleted, right? It's, look at this. I'm just like barely shuffling. I was on the karmic connection, loss of job and fired. So someone could be dealing with that, financial issues, some sort of loss. Okay. All right, so 4 of Wands. Okay, I have fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. I'm getting like somebody married somebody, all right, and they could be a fire sign. Maybe they thought this was what they wanted, but I'm getting that's not the case, because it was like a false, it was a false sense of reality. Like it was an illusion. Like this was pretend, right? And I feel like someone is entertaining others and has the entire time. Like this was the devil in disguise. Someone was duped by whoever this is, and it's coming to light. This could be masculine or feminine. It could be like Jezebel energy. It doesn't have to be though, but I'm getting a bit of like, you know, they were in this energy, and so they're putting that vibe out. They're slandering, lying, defaming, attacking. They're going to attract that kind of energy to them. And I bet that's what happened here. Yeah. I feel like they didn't have any spiritual beliefs. They could be like, you know, a spiritual hater. But I'm getting like they connected with a fire sign or someone who's like very fiery. Okay. Very like my way or the highway, right? There's that karmic debt and releasing that karmic debt. Okay. So it's like that's how things are being brought into balance. Okay. It's kind of like taking into account. Okay. Like, what have you done with the lesson? What have you done with yourself since you learned what you learned, right? In that karmic lesson. And what have they been doing, right? I feel like it is not the same, all right? It is not the same. Look at, yeah, what did I say? Here's that couple. Here's that couple that thought it would be wise to run amok. They're in a karmic lesson with one another, okay? So there's a false masculine and a false feminine. They were in cahoots to come after you, okay? They were manipulated to do so, okay? And, you know, it was the devil in disguise. Maybe they thought like, you know, party time, right? Maybe they didn't like the after party. Okay, there's something about like the after effects, like almost like the hangover of what they thought it was but isn't. Okay, I'm getting like there's a bit of a wake-up call here. All right, and I'm getting like they need a wake-up call. I think we all are going to be awoken in whatever way the divine sees fit in our lives. Okay, yeah, someone tries to communicate with you through music. I feel like they want to tell you that they still have feelings for you. They're dealing with the law, okay, and consequences. Okay, yeah, they're dealing with toxic friends as well. So I feel like whoever they thought was in favor or supportive of them or giving them advice, thinking like, you know, I asked so-and-so, you know, they gave me advice on how to handle this. Yeah, no, these people give zero shits. Okay, so I feel like somebody that they're associated to are like the flying monkeys. Okay, they are in cahoots with the devil energy. Okay, so if someone thought like, you know, people cared about them in this dynamic with, I'm getting whoever that is, I'm getting like their friends are toxic, okay? Their friends don't want them to be happy. All right. Yeah, this energy fell from grace, okay? They're being seen as a gold digger, and they attracted a gold digger because they are a gold digger. All right, they're realizing like, you know, this about this person. I'm getting like, you know, now they're realizing like the illusion's over, and now they see exactly, you know, what they got. And it's like they got what they wished for, right? But now it's like they no longer want it, right? They're like not satisfied with what they asked for. Okay, so there's a bit of that, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm also getting there's karmic family members involved in this mess. Okay, so they may have participated in the slandering, the lying, the trolling, the stalking. Okay, what's this? Yeah, working with others to come against you. Yeah, confirmation of that. that it was a group, it was the toxic friends and their family that they got to come against you, okay, in whatever way that was, all right? I feel like, it was like a whole game, like they were playing an entire game. It was a game to them, right? They thought it was funny. They thought it was funny, okay? Okay, very good then. Yeah, and look, this Queen of Wands, okay, fire sign energy. Then we have the Four of Wands, fire sign energy, okay? So, yeah, they're realizing that they're sleeping with the enemy, okay? Okay. I have that they're going through an ego death, all right? They're experiencing like everything that they once knew no longer makes sense. People are no longer who they think they are. Whatever they thought this person was, they're now seeing them clearly. And other people are seeing them clearly. So it's kind of like all masks are off, right? All right. Yeah, abundance, financial blessings, and stability. I feel like this is what they were striving for and trying to, like, take from you. They wanted whatever you were destined to have, right? Whatever your, yeah, look at karmic connection and lesson here. Yeah, they're learning a very tough lesson with one another. Right? Their partnership is their karma, okay? And any fallout that happens with that, whether that's spiritual sickness or health issues or legal issues or financial issues, you know? Look at, there's childhood trauma here that's unhealed. And so this is the purpose of this all playing out, is so that something comes to the light so that it can be seen and worked on and moved past. Like there's a need to kind of like seek professional, potentially help. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any medical advice, but I would say the cards be talking. The cards be talking. Okay, so yes, there's definitely something here that would definitely help someone's life if it was addressed in whatever way they see fit. Okay. Very much feeling like a black sheep and outcast, okay? Maybe always has. And so there's this wounding that we operate and project from, right? We all have it. We all have that, right? To some degree, right? We all have a degree of pain, suffering, and trauma. However, it's our responsibility here, having a human experience, to deal with that, to work on that, to heal from that, right? And evolve as a person and learn from our lessons, mistakes, experiences. All of our relationships are assignments, okay? And I'm getting like, you know, Archangel Michael has had to step in, okay, to provide some sort of clarity, authority, and protection here because of what's been going on, okay, with this energy. So that would be like divine justice and universal law playing out, right? So it's again like, we all have free will choice, right, to decide how we handle ourselves and our business. Here's the thing though, like when you know, okay, I can't even, when you know right from wrong, okay, and you still make those decisions to this degree, there's accountability with this, regardless of whether you believe it or not. I'm getting like, sometimes you have to learn the hard way, and I'm getting like, that's what's playing out here for them. Okay, there's legal issues. You are worthy, I am statements, okay? This is you remembering who the F you are, okay? You're here to create, all right? You're here to follow that yellow brick road for you, whatever that is, right? Towards your destined path and purpose, and you're being divinely guided to it, okay? I feel like success, abundance, and stability is what you're destined to experience here, right? I'm getting like they tried to steal that from you, okay? I feel like you're super connected and they want you to stay connected, get in nature, meditate, and spend time, you know, alone, okay? Remove yourself from the drama, okay? Empress energy, all right? Yeah, talk to your spirit guides, ancestors, and saints. They're there to support you, okay? They protect you. A spiritual awakening and ascension is playing out here. So everybody wakes up differently and from different experiences. So no one's experience is exact, okay? So we're all unique. We all have our own lessons to learn, and everyone's path is different. So there might be some commonalities, but I would say that whoever's energy, you know, that we connect within our channel, we're all going through a spiritual awakening or an ascension or kundalini or ego deaths or all the different, you know, experiences that come along with waking up and realizing that there's more to what we've been told. It's kind of like, oh, becoming aware of the programming, becoming aware of like there is more than what meets the eye. In fact, there's more that the naked eye can't see. So there could be a lot of like, you know, conscious awakenings happening here and learning, okay, that you are responsible for your reality that you create when you're here, okay? Some of it we have to grow from and learn from and heal from, right? But that's your responsibility here. All right, so split the deck. I was seeing, where was it? I was seeing fraudulent. So this could have something to do with like why there's legal issues here. They want you to cleanse your energy. Okay, so you might need to do a energy cleanse. You can do that by using like a selenite wand to just wand yourself and your space, and the intention is to clear, okay, and cleanse yourself with divine white light. Okay, what do we have? Yeah, I'm getting like someone could be going to like prison, or they could feel like they're bound and stuck and unable to move forward. So there could be a bit of like confinement, isolation, or spiritual prison here. There's spiritual hater. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. Again, loss of job. Okay, so someone could be losing a job. I feel like through this process, you've released karmic debt, which is why you're here. This is part of the ascension process, is to work through your karmic debt and heal your heart. Okay, yeah, here's the reason why things are going difficulty. There's difficulty here. Here's why. All right, so someone could be dealing with the negative energy returning back to them. Okay, so if they're trying to bound you, you know, or sending you any kind of thing, like that's returning to sender here. They're being held accountable for their attacks, okay, and the work that they've been doing, and that they've been working with others on as well, okay? I feel like the angels are here and they protect you, right? That's why none of their stuff works. Like, they don't know who they're messing with, okay? So trust that. They're wearing the mask, okay? They cloak themselves. They're heavily in their ego. And I'm getting like, for you, it's like onwards and upwards here. All right, yeah, there's that fraudulent activity energy I was getting. All right. Yeah, there's releasing that karmic debt. Okay. And then we have confirmation of the Five of Swords, the slandering, the spreading lies, and the fact that they're a hater. Haterade. Yeah, someone could be dealing with like car issues maybe. Look at this car. It's like all dilapidated. It's like all busted up. All right, someone wants to maybe spin the block, shall we say. Maybe someone spins the block, right? There could be a karmic third party involved, or they're the ones that could be spinning the block, spying on you, because they have caught whiff of the fact that this past person isn't happy with them anymore and wants to head back towards you. So there's like eyes on the scene. Okay, you could be an air sign, don't have to be. They could be an air sign, or an air sign is involved. I feel like this played out at work, or they used to work, or something regarding work. Past loved ones visit you while you sleep. Talk to your spirit guides, ancestors, and saints. Is there another? Okay. My cards are getting messy over here. All right. Yep. Again, confirmation. Illegal practices. Someone got caught up. Yep. I feel like it was the gold digger. Documents. They didn't read them very carefully. They didn't know exactly what they were getting into before they got into it, and now they're dealing with they caught a case. Remember how I said they caught a case? Yeah, they caught a case. All right. They caught a case. The card be jumping. Someone's looking for something. What are you looking for? You saw it. Okay. You saw what you needed. All right. Yeah, karma. Someone is experiencing karma as it relates to doing dirty deeds, and they're done dirt cheap, but you know, dirty deeds, done dirt cheap. All right, karma's racking up here. I feel like, yeah, this player is where we began. Like this, it's gonna hit them where it hurts, right? Like how people think of them, you know, the appearances of things, and how, you know, they go from the top to the bottom, right? And it's as a result of like them prioritizing that over being a decent human being. I'm getting, yeah. All right, so they may not even be able to entertain like they used to entertain, all the different options, because now they have a spiritual disease or an STD. And so what they may have used to gain money, maybe they're no longer able to. They may have done something here, all right? And the end result is, you know, infection, disease, health issues, spiritual sickness. I'm getting like this agreement here with this gold digger, okay, and this player, and entertaining others, whether it was agreed upon or not. I feel like whatever that was, it was legal. Whatever they were doing for money, it was illegal. Okay, and there may have been this involved. And that would explain getting this. All right, and that would be their karma. This would be your past person and whoever they associate with, including those toxic friends, the ones that they work with to create chaos and conflict for you. Yeah, this is the end result. This is their karma. Okay, so let it play out the way it's meant to play out. I'm getting like somebody who's also on a spiritual quest. They're stable, secure, they're a good partner. They see a strong future with you, and they're coming in to claim what is theirs, okay? And it's destined, and they see you as a worthy investment, and there's some challenges and obstacles to get past. They too have been through difficulty. I feel like they're going to ask to connect and maybe even go on a date with you. I feel like all of this is a blessing in disguise. I feel like you deserve happiness. You deserve a new beginning, a passionate one. And I feel like, you know, it was a lesson in how you treat somebody and what's important in life. And I feel like you will forever be the one that got away. Okay. But I feel like you have a passionate new life playing out for you, and that pain and suffering that you experienced was probably the greatest lesson of your life. So now you're meant to share it with those you come across. I feel like there's always a little nugget that you share. This could be a new opportunity to help others through pain and suffering like you've overcome, because these challenges were something else. But I feel like you were able to grow and build from it. So good things take a while, right? So it's like understanding that this is on the path for growth, development, expansion, right? I feel like you have a beautiful community that's going to surround you with stability, security, and love. Okay. And I feel like it's connected to this masculine or the feminine. Flip it, switch it. They're both present. I feel like you both have a purpose and you share it. And I feel like it's going to be something that might be like community or charitably focused, but it's meant to help others and humanity and be generational, right? To benefit those that come after you, right? And to honor those that have come before you. So it's a bit of that energy. So, wow, there was a lot here. But thoroughly enjoyed this. Woo-wee. Wow, yeah, I feel like, I feel like you're remembering, like, that you are in this position, right? You hold a position. And so there might have been a need to learn what you needed to learn in order to grow. Like I'm seeing like you could resonate with, like, see how she has like two different eyes, so you see in the physical as well as the spiritual. So it was a bit of like a spiritual initiation. All right, I feel like you learned so much in this process, okay, with that hermit energy. I love that, right? Or this is a Virgo coming in. Someone could be a Virgo. I do have an earth sign, King of Pentacles, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So, but the Virgo is the hermit energy, or you can resonate with Mercury. Mercury's very significant in this reading. All right, and I'm getting like this energy is dealing with this, and I feel like you need to let them, okay? Yeah, let them experience what they're calling into their reality. Maybe they'll change their point of view. They'll be more aware of what they're calling into their reality because they're going to see it manifest immediately, okay? They're going to learn the difference between, you know, a low vibration and a high vibration, okay? Your energy is going to mirror back to you, okay? Whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. Sometimes you're like, oh shit, did I just wish that upon myself? Crap. Crap. I'm struggling with these cards today. I don't know why. It's just that way. I mean, they're going through it here for sure. So I guess like I'm getting like they knew what they were getting themselves into, right? So why are they surprised that they find themselves in this situation, right? Like at some point, like do a look in the mirror, okay? Like you know that you were conniving and calculating and manipulative and abusive and a straight up bully. And so there's a price to pay for that. Okay, whether they like it or not. I feel so they could be in the energy of feeling like an outcast at this point, right? Because it's like whatever this energy is, it used to be focused on you, but now I'm getting it's focused on them and whoever they connected with. Okay, this fire sign energy, this gold digger. They're both gold diggers. Okay, they're both like having to use other people's energy to get ahead because they're not able to create it themselves. So they need hosts. And you might have learned that people come in all types of energy. So this might have been like like some mastery that you needed to learn, okay? Because the magician is the student that becomes the master, okay? There's this like cosmic intelligence as well that the magician and the star and the high priestess and the hierophant and the hermit all have. And so I'm getting like there's tapping into that. There's learning through practice, okay? So some of this was for the sake of learning, okay, through practice. And we did have the awakening. So whatever this was a catalyst to your spiritual awakening or your ascension. So it was painful, but purposeful is what they want me to say. It was purposeful. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Right? Everything serves a purpose. So maybe there's a way to look at things a bit differently. Maybe have a little grace for yourself, okay? Realizing that like some less, I mean, if you remember like the most important lessons in your life, they weren't easy to learn. They weren't easy to experience. So I feel like it's a bit of that. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Very, very strong life lesson learned here. And again, that the principle and law of cause and effect is certainly playing out right now. Okay? Especially during this Mercury retrograde. So Mercury, again, even more important to mention here. So thank you, Mercury. You're teaching us so much. You are a master teacher. Thank you for being a guide for all of us. And I work with Mercury a lot. So I will see you guys on the next reading. I hope you enjoyed this. Okay, this was quite telling and things are unfolding as they need to. So just trust the process. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.